Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday WIPs. And here we are in the middle of January, aren't we? So, Christmas and New Year, long way away. Monday was the Give Up Your New Year's Resolution Day, so if you have kept them on then, well done to you, so that's good. I haven't had any wine since the 4th of January, and I think I'm all right. Anyway, it's doing me good, and for those that don't know, I've put myself down to run a 10k run at the end of March. So yesterday I ran 7 kilometres and my body's going, ooh. Anyway, back to the knitting and crochet. So what have I been doing? Well, this month I'm doing a lot of things which involve my stash. I haven't been out buying yarn. I've been very good and doing things with things that I already have. So the first one is, this is a jumper that I knitted for Mr. W quite a few years ago. But I noticed that it was quite a few years ago when I hadn't learnt the art of actually tailoring a pattern to a particular body. So I just knitted the sleeves as per instructed, and they ended up with a very long sleeve. So Mr. W has had to roll his cuffs up. And I thought, well, that spoils the line of the jumper. So I thought I will do some amendments. So what I did, I put in a lifeline. Now a lifeline, for those of you who don't know, is where you, with a darning needle and thread, put in a line through the stitches so that when you cut it off and unpick it, you don't lose all these stitches. It's a very good thing to have if you're doing something like Fair Isle or Aran, because it means that you can easily go back if you make a mistake, which of course you won't because you'll do it right first time. So yeah, so I put in a little lifeline around here, and then I tentatively cut the seam and then cut around below the lifeline, the cuff edge of the lifeline, and then I unravelled it, and then I put the stitches on a circular needle there, and I've knitted the cuff upwards like that. So that's the cast off edge rather than the cast on end. So you can see that, oops, where are we? Mr. W has now got a sleeve that is a lot shorter than the other one. So that's the first one. See, it is quite long. I've gone out of the sun. So that's the original one. That's the one I've done. So you can see he had to roll up quite a lot. So hopefully he will be wearing that a lot more. There's a little bit I need to tidy in. So I've just got one of that to do, which means that I haven't had to undo the whole garment to change the length of the yarn. And hopefully Mr. W will enjoy wearing it even more than he has done. So that's one project. So that's make do amend, I think that one's called. So what else have I been doing? Let's see if I can get myself either in or out of the shade. Oh, there we'll stay out of the shade, in the shade. It is quite nice and sunny. So what else have I been doing? Well, you remember I was also knitting this for Mr. W. He's a lucky boy, isn't he, this month? And I showed you there was some yarn that this yarn here, which I'd knitted him a cardigan with, because he's lost so much weight and has got such a beautiful physique now. The original cardigan was too big, so I've unravelled it, which you can do, and it's a good way of using up yarn rather than it just being sitting there and not being worn. You can put it around a coat hanger and steam it. I've just used it from a rolled ball because what I'll do is I'll block this thoroughly before I sew it together. So I've made the back here, so there's the back, and I've done the left and right hand side there with pockets, so Mr. W can stuff his hanky in there or whatever he wants to stuff in there. So that's another use of stuff that I already have, so I haven't had to buy any yarn for that, and hopefully again Mr. W will enjoy wearing that. So that's that one. Just in case you want to know, this is a Martin storybook from Rowan, and there you go. In it, it's got lots of, he specialises in Aran, and he has some lovely things in there. So of course Mr. W chose plain one, which is fine because it's nice easy knitting while I'm watching the telly. It's winter watch this week. Have you been watching that? So and it's a Rowan book if you're interested in that. Rowan Cotton Classics, and I'm using double K cotton, hand knit cotton, which is double K. So the other thing I've been doing with some of my stash is I have a big box full of sock yarn. Because when I go round to shows like Yarn Fest and Wonderwool Wales and Yarndale and things like that, I think, oh, I'm not going to buy it anymore. And then you get, oh, that sock yarn's nice. So I've ended up with a load of sock yarn. So it's, yeah, you can never have too many socks, but sometimes it takes a while to get through the sock yarn. So I have found some sock yarn. Well, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Winnick Mum. She has a website and she specialises in socks. And in January, she's encouraged us to knit these, which are easy mosaic socks, which they are quite easy. Mosaic is a technique where you use slip stitches to get that coloured effect. So it's not Fair Isle, where you're using two colours at once. You're only using one colour each row, and it comes out like that. Isn't that lovely? So the contrast is white, the main contrast, and then the main colour is this. So this is some Debbie Bliss yarn, which I think I got in the sale at Abercan some years ago, and it's lovely. It starts off orange, and it's gone into the purple, and now I think it's going into the green and go back to orange and pink. So it's going to be interesting matching that. So that's some lovely colours in there. So at the moment we're in sort of purpley mode, having started off in orange. And the white is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply sock yarn, which is blue face Leicester and a bit of nylon. I'm not quite sure what's in the Debbie Bliss, but it's very nice. The only thing is it is quite splitty, because you can see it's got it's two different colours, so that it's two strands together. I don't know whether you can see it coming apart there. So I do have to be careful that I don't split it and cause problems there anyway. So that's what I'm doing, and it's all good practice, because my professional or fantastic finishing techniques workshop is in 29th of January, a week on Saturday. So I should be using this to show you how to finish off your garments, how to sew things up, and how to rectify mistakes and things like that. And I'll show you the grey one as well, so that's good. So if you want to come on that, there's still some places left. Give me a message if you want to come along. And the other thing is that for all of you who go, oh, I'd love to knit a pair of socks. Well, I'm starting sock school in the beginning of March, the first Thursday in March, and I'll give you all your needles and your wool, and I'll teach you all the techniques for knitting a cuff down sock, which is marvellous. We won't be doing complicated things, although this is not that complicated, but we will be using some nice variegated yarn, so it looks really fab, so you can impress your friends with these lovely stripy socks. Anyway, so if you want to have a go at that, then please let me know as well. So it's all on the website, and I hope to see you soon. That's all for me for this week. Have a wonderful week. Do let me know what you're up to, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.